I said I was going to do this. But you know what? I'm just going to go for the heck of it. I'm going to guess who's proceeding next week and the week after next and who's winning state.
All right, let's do this.
I'm going to do a quick little thing. No hard feelings to any teams that will be on here in the future, but this is just my quick breakdown.
You do for what it is, kid.
Playoff season. Woo!
Hey.
High school football. Football.
What does it say? What does he say?
Football.
What it do for what it is, kid, what it was, cuz BG was the scene, Katy Tigers, it is T with 2 E's.
And Legendary Max.
And it's the Level Up Exp podcast where we talk everything high school football.
Yes.
So, excuse my voice. It was a very eventful Saturday for me and my family. So, first we found out that I'm having a girl.
You having a kid?
So, you don't.
I didn't know that.
Bro was there. These niggas tripping. All right, so.
I was?
Why are you doing this?
Oh, no.
Oh, Cam was. The Godfather was. So that's how they really.
Wow. That's you think you really know, guy. That's crazy.
So, yeah, after the reveal, my brother, Free My Dog, he pledged yesterday. He's a Q, and he was doing his thing, so we was cheering for him. So excuse me if my voice isn't all that.
And I also want to say good job to my uncle. He got honored for the Community Service Award at the UNCF Gala. I don't know if y'all know that. It's United Negro College Fund. It's an organization that raises funds for college students to go to HBCUs. And there was an HBCU president there yesterday, Peeve.
Yeah.
And she got honored for excellence in education. And that was cool. But then she started talking mess to TSU. I didn't appreciate that one bit. So
she was stating facts.
Watch her back. So,
Shout out Dr. Ruth. She loud. But man, lock it in. We here because it's playoff football. Well, we just finished round 2. And for starters, last week, okay, it was the playoffs. And I know maybe the first game's not like the best, but some of them scores were blowouts.
Yes.
Like
especially
you might as well just had a bye week if we're being honest.
Facts.
Golly. I don't know, man. I just felt like playoff was like, it's going to be like, I mean, I know when you get kind of later in the next couple rounds, that's when it's really going to lock in and like it's going to be actual like competitive. But 77 schools were like whooping on other schools.
Factual 7.
Man, that's crazy. But the game I went to see North Bend Hightower versus Heights. The score was 42-21. It got more interesting. The one side of games. It got more interesting. Some of the standout players for Hightower. Khalid Davis, he's a senior receiver, number 3. That boy could run. God bless that man has speed. He was very quick with and without the ball in his hands, and he had actually very good hands. Second player is Jeremy Payne. He's a junior running back. We had him on our junior list, and he's ranked for a reason. That young fella ran hard. He always fell forward when it was 1 tackler or 10 tacklers. He had enough speed to outrun you, and he actually, I know this kind of took the air out of the Heights team. Hightower was just going to run the clock out. They ran 3 plays. Same exact play. Handoff to the right. 3 exact plays. Payne broke the third one and scored with 1 second left before half.
Damn.
So we was like, dang. Boy, I know
you
that.
Don't want to be seeing that.
At all. Because, everybody's like, all right, we just soon made the tackle. We going into halftime. Regroup. And that boy scored. I just looked over and I was like, yeah, that.
Going into the third quarter with a touchdown.
And then they got the ball back.
Oof.
then they got the ball first.
Not ideal for Heights.
And the receiver who scored was Davis. He had a hitch, outran the defense, to the end zone. It was crazy. Last player, and I knew this was gonna come back, so I tried to practice, but here we go. Chisholm Onwu Zaringbo. I think I said it right this time.
We're trying our best.
We're trying our best. Wish he was on the show. He could say it ourselves. But this kid is a baller. He could play inside or outside. He's a DB, a senior. He had nice reaction skills, and he was always around the football. He actually had an interception, and that brought his total to 6 interceptions on the season. Wow. So that young fella could ball. But what game did you see, Maxwell?
Yeah, I'm going to just go into a quick little tangent. I always go to the games where They're not the most interesting. I'm not gonna lie to you. Last week I went to Shoal Creek versus Brotherswood. They 77-7. I'm like, all right. This game, I mean, it was a little better, but what's a Woodlands versus Klein Cain? I'm like, okay. Like, I know a little bit about Klein Cain. They have like a nice running back. I'm like, I did think Woodlands was gonna win, but I thought it would be like a competitive game. Mm-hmm. Yeah, boy, I was wrong. The first two plays showed the case that they scored really early on. We had Quanell, he's been on the show before. He got a 60-yard punt return touchdown. At that point, I'm like, yeah, this is
about that time.
Yeah, it's about that time. So that final score was 62-21. My stance, number 0, Quanell, did a great job with that punt return. And then Mabry Medor, something like that. I'm sorry. He threw for 2 touchdowns, solid arm, great arm. He could throw far, long, mid, distance. Great. And then Klein Cain, I'm going to talk about the running back that had 2 touchdowns, Jalen Smith. He broke a lot of tackles. He tried his best to carry the team, but did not go well. So, yeah, that final score for that game was 62-21. And now we're in the 3rd round of the playoffs. Yes, these teams are whittling down. Let's see how many there are.
And like with these blowout games, anybody that we've ever brought on, a guest who brought on, we've seen we went to their game.
16 teams left.
16. Oh boy, it's getting. I love the playoffs, man. But we go to their games, and if we don't talk to them throughout the week, we try to talk to them on Fridays.
Yep.
But when it's a blowout game, you just like, I don't even want to be here no more. Like, this was fun. I got my players that I'm gonna talk about. I got my articles already in my mind. I don't really want to stay.
And that was an hour. I drove an hour.
I drove an hour for that,
and I stayed there maybe like an hour.
And then it rained. Then it
rained. So. The amount of gas I drove this weekend to that, and then to your little thing. Terrell don't live close to me. Just that man a little far. Freaking road sharing. You know what Pearland is? It's deeper. Deeper Pearland.
Nah,
so it'll be gas money. But in any case, maybe. So, yeah, now we got the Woodlands versus Duncanville. And y'all don't know anything about Duncanville. Duncanville's number 3 in the state. One of the best teams in Texas. Like, oof.
They're historically always competitive.
Quando, good luck.
That's a very solid team. I actually wasn't able to find like stats.
Yeah, thank you, MaxPrep.
Thank you, MaxPrep. Y'all are doing great, really, truly. Real quick, I propose an idea where like, what are the couple of the apps or whatever you look at to like find players and find information. Mm-hmm. MaxPreps is one of those.
MaxPreps and like 247. That's
I think somehow, some way, they're each team the respectfully, the competitive, the good teams should have somebody. It could be a coach, it could be a parent. I don't really know. Somebody jot down the stats, and y'all should be able to work it out where they can update the stats. And I mean, you got to verify it, of course, but update the stats so people can know like this team, this quarterback got this many yards this season. Like some of them, any stats that we give you today, I'm always be like, from what, according to MaxPreps, because I can't fully express if it was like 100, they got like this many yards. So if they got more, I think it'd be more, not less, of course. But yeah, Max, what are some of the better games?
Look, on this side, we got, like I said, we got Duncanville versus Woodlands. Fortunately, that's not in Houston. I wish it was, because I'll definitely be there.
Facts.
Then we got Westfield versus, well, these hard pronounced names are just kicking my butt. Waxahachie. Waxahachie. That Japanese?
Bruh.
Anyways, they're playing them next week as well. Also not Houston, unfortunately. But the games we do got in Houston, we got Cinco Ranch versus North Shore. And Cinco Ranch has always had like a very, very impressive offense. The only team that stopped most of their offensive plays was Paytow. I mean, they still lost in the end, but most of Cinco Ranch games were like 40 points, and they only scored like, 20, 35 against Paytow? Yeah. So that's pretty good. So, I mean, you know about North Shore. We had Devin on a couple weeks ago, so hopefully he can put a stop to their offense. We'll see. Then we got Rich Point versus Atascocita. That should be a good game. They're both 10-2 right now. Like we said, their quarterback Bert Emanuels is not playing on their team anymore. If he was, Atascocita would be in a little bit of trouble. But Atascocita has a great offense in Zion and then Torrey Blaylock. So I definitely, and then you got big old Samu.
Samu. Now it's gonna be a battle for sure. I think it's now. Rich Point they do have a good running back, Ezel Jolly. He's a running back. He rushed for according to MaxPrep, he rushed for exactly 1,000 yards and 20 touchdowns, which led the team. He actually had more touchdowns than their quarterback, who had 19. But I don't think it's gonna be a rushing game. An offense, a rushing game, like I said. I think it's going to be a passing game. And I'm not going to predict the winner or anything, but what I'm looking forward to, Rich Point has 3 underclassmen. There are 2 main receivers, Mason Dossett and Austin Bethel Roman. They're both juniors. And then the quarterback, who was the leading quarterback, I don't know if somebody got hurt, but other people were throwing the ball, and more than just like a trick play. Like I think other people were genuinely quarterbacks. Austin Calisel, he's a sophomore. So whether or not they win, just bringing that core group next year is going to be very impressive. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. But I think if Rich Point does advance, it's going to be through the year.
So I'm just gonna say out loud, I think next week the week after this, I think we're getting a rematch between Atascocita and North Shore. That's my personal thoughts.
Oh, just off the dome.
I personally see that coming. I think it's all scripted. No, I'm joking. But no, I think it's definitely going to be, I would like to see Atascocita and North Shore play again. And who wins between them, I'm not sure. I mean, it was a very close game, what we saw a couple weeks ago. So.
It wasn't that high scoring, but it was a good game. I liked it. I mean, you can't overlook your opponent.
Oh, exactly.
So good luck.
Good luck.
But if they do play, I'm definitely going to be.
And I personally, between them, I would like one of them to go to state because they're the only teams left in Houston. Because what we got down here is one of the most terrifying teams in Texas. We got Austin Westlake. Oh, my God. I remember we saw them last year at the state game versus Geyer. Man, they were number 1 for a reason. Their quarterback was insane. Their wide receiver, Jaden Grayhouse, he's still there. He's a senior now. He was a junior last year. Boy went off. Very tall, fast, just the ideal wide receiver. Ideal.
Just the perfect specimen.
Like he had 300 plus yards in that game, receiving yards and 4 touchdowns. It was just. Whew. So, I would love to see Westlake play against Atascocita or North Shore. That would be a great game to watch. Because whoever wins that game goes to state.
Shout out to Geyer. It's simplistic, but I like their uniforms. It's just black and gray.
Yes.
But they make it kind of hard, and I really do like it.
Facts.
And then, unfortunately, I hate to say this, but shout out to the Dallas Cowboys stadium.
Yes, they do.
That stadium.
That's the only thing I'll give them. They have probably the best stadium in the entire world.
Stadium.
So I'm very excited when we go to state and a month from now we get to in their press box. Ooh, that press box sexy.
That was nice.
That was nice.
We met a cool dude over there too. We just chopped it up, having a great time.
Oh, I can't wait for state this year.
I think I might. Would it be wrong if we got on the field and kind of stumped on the star?
Oh yeah.
It'd just be throw up the H. I mean, yeah, the Texans are losing. We suck. I was finna take off once the game was over, I was gonna take off my long sleeve.
It's just hard to watch week to week.
My problem, here's my biggest thing, because we're not a great team. Make a change at quarterback. Did you watch the game?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
I didn't watch the
game. Kinfolk, the first play was a pass. It went back to the line of scrimmage. It was like a screen or something. Second play, it was an out route, interception for a touchdown. Why is Davis Mills still the starting quarterback for the Houston Texans?
Look, right now, y'all not gonna go far. Y'all might win maybe 1 or 2 games. I haven't seen the schedule. Hopefully, y'all can win 1 or 2. If not, we got the first round pick in the bag. Get a new freaking quarterback.
And I think they will.
Please.
If you Houston,
Damn it, Deshaun.
why must you be so weird? So if they took a picture of the stadium, and I pray to God somehow somebody from like who's in the Texans organization is listening to this podcast. You're listening to a Texans fan who deeply cares about this team. Y'all are gonna lose this fan base. Y'all are going to lose this fan base. They took a picture today, and it was more Washington. All right, they drove or flown from Washington. There was more jerseys for the Commanders than the Texans today.
That's insane.
And that's bad, bro. So I don't mind losing. I just if something's not working, you change. If you don't do a good job at your job, you get fired.
Exactly.
All right. If I don't hold it down in this podcast, you're gonna replace me.
Exactly.
And he wouldn't. But
okay.
I do have a question for you. But if the quarterback's not performing, I don't care if he's a first round pick, I don't care if he's undrafted. Make a change and let somebody else try.
Exactly.
So, man, golly. But speaking of Geyer, you're saying Westlake can air the ball out. I mean, yes. Geyer has a safety.
Geyer right now is number 1 in Texas, by the way.
Number 1 in Texas. They got a safety, man, number 22. Now, that don't mean nothing other than he's a dog. Peyton Bowen. He's a 5-star recruit, and he's committed to Notre Dame or Notre Dame. I don't know how people say it. The boy is a beast. Here's the thing. What I like about him and players like him is that he's not flashy. It makes it look like he's not maybe making plays or maybe he doesn't fill up the stat sheet, but it's players like him who are dogs where they do their job, they don't make mistakes, and when they come down and they hit you or come down and break up a pass, like you're gonna feel it. And like, shout out to Peyton. I'm not saying they're gonna win. I'm just saying if he can play to the level that he's supposed to,
they got a good chance.
That whole secondary, but especially Bowen.
Yeah, they got the defense, but they definitely got a killer offense. You got Jackson Arnold. He is number 2 in Texas for a reason. He has almost thrown for 3,000 yards this season,
according to MaxPrep,
and thrown for 30 touchdowns, and rushed 14 of them himself. Like,
and
that man not afraid to run the ball.
He had 3 interceptions. According, yes. I'm always saying, according to MaxPrep, he has 31 touchdowns and 3 interceptions
in 12 games.
Their leading rusher, he didn't get 1,000 yards. So they're a team.
They're
that
definitely a
ball,
passing team.
What I'm trying to say. So that is impressive.
Facts.
But that's gonna be a good game. I'm excited. That's gonna be good. And then Geyer it's a revenge game.
Oh, for sure.
So they're gonna come with some heat. And they're gonna be ready. Oh, I can't wait.
But luckily for them, their Westlake is on the other side, so they don't got to deal with them. But they might have to deal with the Katy Tigers.
Hey, I just saw a link, well not link, a picture, and I was gonna send it to you. They were doing in America the historically best high schools in the state.
Katy's one of them.
Katy was the best. For like Alabama had a team, Florida had a team. Katy is the best, according to that link, was the best high school in Texas.
I think Katy's like you think about great high school, like not high school, like football teams are like when you think great, you think about like college, Alabama, NFL. Used to be the Patriots when Tom Brady was there. Like for high school, for Texas, it's always been Katy. Katy's always been a good team.
There's been teams that fluctuate and they had like a good season.
Like Katy's always there.
Which their opponent is one of those teams that like they're scrappy, they make a run in a year, but Katy consistently over years upon years, decades, has been. They might have fallen off every now and again, and even this year, I feel like their team is like low key, not as talented as like last year and a couple years, but that is a well run organization.
Like I know for college, you can always like recruit and stuff like everywhere, and same thing with like NFL, but like high school in like Texas, like you're so limited in your recruiting space. but you always manage to stay number one, or at
Very
least
impressive.
in like the top 3 of like schools.
Very, very impressive. But man, their opponent.
Summer Creek
Their
is
opponent.
such a wild card. Such a dark horse.
I hope somebody's listening. I love Summer Creek. They are so competitive. We just looked at their season. Even when they lost, they were competitive. They lost by like a touchdown. They never lost by 2 touchdowns or 10 points. It was always 7 or less.
Yes.
That team is, and they blew teams out when they did win.
Which
I like that team.
sorry for our fallen soldier from Shadow Creek.
Maurice Williams Jr., man. He a great kid. He's
Great
going
kid.
to, and he's junior. He coming back next year.
Next year, you
Hungry
definitely
year.
gonna be killing it.
Yeah, they unfortunately lost, but I like Silver Creek. I really do. That's a scrappy team. That even in a loss, that is a team that I wish the Texans were. Like even when you lose, it's like you only a couple plays you could have won.
Like, you're gonna keep on watching to the very end because you just don't know.
You just don't know. And they have a receiver. You know his name?
Roryion Richardson.
Yes, Roryion Richardson. Good size, good speed.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, honestly, I do feel like his routes could be a little crisper.
Hey, he got offered TSU, so you know.
He got offered to.
Yes, sir. You know where
I like you, Roryion, but like
So,
if you go
know-
to TSU,
You know what to do.
listen to me now. If you go to
You know what
TSU,
to do.
you're going to get dog walked by Prairie View A&M
You
University.
know what to do.
Because Prairie View,
And in Quanah, you also know what to do.
Predict.
You know.
Prairie View produces productive Panthers, and no, God,
Let's play at these young black men. Let's go to these HBCUs and turn up. Let's go. Like, come on.
If you do that, you can also go to PV. Like, why specifically TSU? I mean, if you're arguing,
PV, not Houston.
if you're only, that's a better thing. That's a better thing. You're close enough to family. It's just like an hour drive, but you're far enough where like you're your own man. So
That's a proud HBCU in Houston. Any case may be. But yeah, we got Katy versus Summer Creek next week. I remember we went to that game last year.
which one?
The Katy versus Summer Creek, we went to that game last year. It was
yeah.
at Rice Stadium.
Yeah.
And Katy was blowing them out like that. I was about to leave. And then Summer Creek kept like put themselves back in. It was like 31-34. It was something like that. It was like, that was my field goal.
I like
They're
Summer
scrappy.
Creek. They are scrappy. And I don't know. They're just a team. You just kind of, I don't know. You just kind of forget about it. And it's like, nah, like, no, we're here.
Don't look down on them.
Do not sleep on us, bro. So you keep that dog mentality. Don't go to TSU. But
Why'd you throw that in there?
I would just, because I know, when they're watching, just like, hey, don't do that. But good luck.
You know where to go. Any case may be. All right, next week, their game is Hightower versus CE King. Since you saw Hightower last week, what do you think their chances are against CE Kings?
It's a good chance. It really is. I like that defense. I think they're fast. They fly around to the ball. Even plays that honestly maybe like one person in the backfield is gonna make a tackle. I can't make this up. At least 8 more people swarmed, and I like it personally because that's what we were taught in high school. We called it 11-30. 11 men to the ball, 3 and out. Yeah. What that was like, yep or something. Yards every play.
Yep.
Oh man, but
Nope.
But I don't even remember what N.O.P.E stood
I
for.
forgot what
I
N.O.P.E
just know
stands for.
Opportunity every play at the very end.
We're gonna put it like right here because we're gonna like edit this. So right here. But I don't remember
I don't remember
based off
anything.
the dome.
But no, they have a good offense. They have a good defense. Even last week, their receiver Zion Kearney, he didn't even really like get targeted or he didn't really like make that many plays.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel like he's going to get the ball. I feel like he's going to produce.
Mm-hmm.
They already got my dog, Caleb Davis. If Zion is like the possession big body receiver, Caleb is the deep threat, and then obviously they have one of the highly ranked running backs. So I do think they have a very, very good chance to take this team down. I'm not guaranteeing a win, but I do think it'll be competitive, and I think it'll be a good game.
Most definitely. And then the rest of the bracket, we got some non-Houston teams. I know Dripping Springs in the top 10. They're like number 8. So they'll probably produce some great results. Same thing with DeSoto. They're like
kind of a hard name.
9.
Dripping
Springs. Is that? I think that's city in Texas. No, a lot. I'm gonna get in this little tangent. There are a lot of weird names in Texas, like for cities.
Facts.
DeSoto's also on the top. They're like number 9. They're playing against Tomball now. Tomball in Houston. So I hope good things for y'all, but I don't know about that one. Spring Decay still in the playoffs. Good for them. They're always a decent team. Harker Heights. Let's see about that one. South Lake Carroll is probably like the number 2 team in Austin. That's a very scary team too. I would like to see them play against Geyer probably the week afterwards. That should be an interesting game.
That would be nice.
That will be.
I'm hoping it's in Houston. we don't find out the location
exactly
after the game, so I don't got necessarily be in Houston, but like if it's like an hour drive, I'm with all that. But
for sure. But there is like one game in Houston that like doesn't feature Houston team. It's like Brenham versus Port Netch Groves. I think I said that right. Neither of these teams are in Houston, but they're playing at NRG Stadium this upcoming Friday. I don't know how that even works.
What is that about, NRG? Why don't y'all have a Houston team?
Exactly.
We're already here. What y'all got going on? You gonna have up 2. Like it'd be different if it was like one school and then a traveling school.
But you're both not in Houston. You're gonna play in the NRG Stadium.
And it's not even the championship. Why would you do that?
Like, it would be one thing if it was like U of H or like Rice. I'll be like, that's still kind of weird, but okay. But NRG Stadium?
Come on, guys.
I mean, at least there'll be a good game there.
I just said that. Like, at least their quarterback is competent. Davis Mills, I don't like you, buddy. I mean, I didn't mind giving him a chance this year. Like, hey, look, we drafted you 3rd round. You did decent towards the end. Let's see what you got. See if we low-key got a diamond in the rough or a steal in the 3rd round. I feel like he's shown you enough where he's not the guy. You can make that switch. I don't think he can I don't even care if he balls out from this point on. I don't think there's anything he can do that will secure his spot.
No.
I think he's done for. And I think if he does start to ball out, all he does is ruin our chance to get. We don't gotta have number 1.
Dave Mills, you better have one hell of an offseason. That's all I gotta say. But
I think he might get traded. Like I think.
You think so?
I truly think like they're going to bring a veteran quarterback in, and then draft a young. And it's gonna be a quarterback. It's not like, oh man, I'm gonna take this team to the Super Bowl. Like it's gonna be one of them. Like, yeah, I know I'm here. I'm the vet. They're gonna draft somebody. I'm just gonna coach him up, mentor him, and then when his time comes, bada bing, bada boom. It could be. I mean, he young, but I don't mind Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold. I don't mind them for a year. And not even a whole year, just until we feel like that rookie's up to date. Mm-hmm. Which I vote Bryce Young. I can see why people say C.J. Stroud. He's a good quarterback, big quarterback. He's way bigger than Bryce Young. Bryce Young's not even 200 pounds at quarterback. So I can see why people are like scared. And I'm nervous, but I mean, today didn't show it. But our offensive line isn't terrible. And I'll put it to you like this. If Bryce Young had the Ohio State receivers, Alabama will be undefeated and they will be winning. They will probably win another championship. If C.J. Stroud had the Alabama receivers, they would have already lost like 4 games right now. Like that's the difference. Young, I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent. I love the Texans. Young elevates his team. Stroud, he's great. He has an arm. He's very good, but he's a facilitator, and he gives the ball to the playmakers and the offensive weapons. Like utilize, you know what I'm saying? They work to get receivers open. He's fine for that. But I don't drafting either one of them. I think Bryce Young for this Texans team will be better than C.J. Stroud. Unless you get a brand new offensive coordinator, brand new coach, new receivers. Not keep Nico. Nico Collins is a dog. You can trade Brandon Cooks. I don't care no more. New receivers. Thank God for Dameon Pierce. I don't know. Honestly, if he wasn't on this team, I don't know how anybody will watch any games from the offense. Thank you, God. We drafted this running back in the 4th round. Woo!
All right, so for the 2 breaks we were talking about now, 6A Division 1 and 2, we have not talked about 5A that much because a lot of the Houston teams are done in 5A, which is unfortunate because I was hoping to see Manville play. We had that
Facts.
one player on. You put him on your defensive list.
Yeah, Blanton.
Yes.
I forgot his first name.
Caleb Blanton.
Caleb Blanton. That dude's a dog too.
Yeah, he is.
Man, that boy kid. He's a linebacker running mate. He's a sophomore.
He's a sophomore.
I would like to have both of them on. They're really good. But
You'll definitely be out one day, so
facts.
But any case may be. For 5A, we got the only Houston team left is Fort Bend Marshall. And I love this team. I think they're a really good offensive team, especially their quarterback. Troy, you want to tell them a little about them?
Fort Bend, dude, they have a quarterback. He was their second best running back. Jordan Davis Senior, number 2. That boy is a baller, and he is a dual threat quarterback, according to MaxPrep.
Mm-hmm.
He had nearly 2,000 yards passing, and he was the second leading rusher on the team with nearly 700 yards. The other leader had 800. So he was only off 500 yards. That man is a dog. He reminds me, and a lot of mobile quarterbacks, people be like, oh, dude, Lamar Jackson. Like, he reminds me of Lamar Jackson.
I love mobile quarterbacks. I think
that's such a threat. I'm like,
it's great to have a good arm. Like, that's necessary. And then a lot of these quarterbacks I've been seeing don't be having good arms. I'm not gonna lie to you, but
respectfully,
I love to see like they have a good arm too, and they could just run the ball. Like I could get a good 20 yards like that, secure the first down, and we keep pushing. Like reset.
Definitely, as a defender, we
that
any defender would what
that must be
any defender would tell you they rather I don't care if they got the best offensive line. We rather a quarterback who will sit in the pocket than a mobile.
And I also love that. I love seeing that too. I'm just like in the crowds, and I just see like the offensive line or like pass blocking, like the quarterback can't find anything, and you just see a nice path just open through. I love seeing that.
What's your biggest pet peeve?
My big. God, look at you just made me mad. My biggest pet peeve for offensive linemen. We know the snap count. Why are you going off sides? I see that so many times.
False start.
I don't know why. That makes me so mad. He's like, oh, number 57, number 66, false start. I'm like, you know the snap count. Why are you jumping off sides? Don't let that D lineman in front of you scare you. They're supposed to be scared of you. Don't let them scare you.
Nah, what actually drives me crazy? I'm trying to think. That just absolutely, I'm just like, bro.
God.
I think.
Don't let that man scare you.
Reading your keys. It sounds minor, but like when I'm in the stands, I can see if a lineman's finna pull. I can see when they're pass blocking. So it infuriates me when you're closer to the lineman than I am, and you don't see that they're in pass. Drop back, get in your zone, look and do what you need to do. If the lineman's pulling, go fill in your spot. I don't know how. It depends on how your defense is. You take on the blocks, you fill the hole. I don't care. But the line, they're right in front of you. Everything is in front of you. And then there's only been since I've been watching maybe 3 teams that ran like a consistent no huddle. So everybody else, you have time to sit down and you have time to process before the next play call. So that does anger me. But
no, real quick, I said I was gonna do this. But you know what? I'm just gonna go for the heck of it. I'm gonna guess who's proceeding next week and the week after next, and who's winning state.
All right, let's do this.
I'm going to do a quick little thing. No hard feelings to any teams that will be on here in the future, but this is just my quick breakdown. This is 6A Division 2.
I hope a team you think's going to lose, and then their player come back and be like, hey, remember all that stuff you was talking? It was going to lose.
All right, Bryce Nelson versus Dan Geyer. Southlake versus McKinney. Southlake. DeSido versus Tomball. DeSido.
Facts.
Harker Heights, Spring Decaney. I'm not sure, actually, but I think Harker Heights is going to win.
You got to pick.
Harker Heights. I'm just going to finish it out. Dan Geyer versus Southlake. Dan Geyer. Harker Heights versus DeSido. Dan Geyer versus DeSido. I mean, not Geyer. Geyer state champs. I mean, going to state champs.
Going to.
Katy versus Some Creek. Katy. Hightower versus Kings.
Hightower. But
go ahead. Not really sure about these two. I'm gonna go with the Austin team. Austin Van Griff. Win. Dripping Springs. Harlingen. Dripping Springs.
Dripping for the name.
Katy versus Kings. Katy. Dripping Springs versus Austin, Dripping Springs.
Drippy.
Katy versus Dripping Springs. Katy versus Dengar.
That's actually going to be good.
I'm going to go Katy. Houston team, yes. I'm going for the Houston. I'm repping for the Houston team.
Wait. Is it strictly because of Houston, or you think they actually genuinely match up well with Geyer? You don't think that? It's because of the Houston team. I respect that. H-Town till we drop.
No, I think no, forget that. I think Katy actually gonna beat them. I feel that my soul. I think Katie's gonna beat them.
Look, it's the same.
It's gonna be the repeat of last year. Dan Geyer's gonna get second place in the state. I'm sorry, Dan Geyer, but you know
it's the same every time. For it got to be a decade. If you stop the run, you can stop Katy. Now, I'm not saying that's easy. Clearly, it's not easy to do.
Clearly not easy because they're still.
But Davis is a dog.
They're both undefeated too. Someone's got to go.
Somebody got to go. But I'm not predicting a win. But if you stop the run, they throw the ball every now and again. Their quarterback isn't terrible, but like to actually just drop back and throw. That's why Atascocita was doing well, because when the quarterback had to throw, they were struggling. When they were able to run the ball, and that's when Seth Davis ran the clock. Well, not ran the clock out, but he scored the last touchdown to end the game, to ice the game. It was off of a run.
Yep.
If they were throwing the ball, they were struggling. So if I was you, Katy, I'd just kind of air the ball out all practice long.
Yes. So now I'm going to do a quick breakdown of 6A Division 1. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. Crowley, Prosper, Keller, Louisville, Duncanville, Woodlands, Duncanville, Waxa, I can't say his name, sorry, I'm not doing this again. Westfield, Prosper versus Louisville, Duncanville versus Westfield, Duncanville, Duncanville versus Louisville, Duncanville goes to state. Cinco Rams versus North Shore, Atascocita versus Rippoint, Atascocita, Lake Travis versus Brenham, Lake Travis.
Yeah.
Westlake versus Benita, Westlake. Atascocita versus North Shore. Westlake versus Lake Travis, Westlake. Westlake versus North Shore.
Yeah, just sit down and think. Westlake.
Ooh. North Shore. North Shore, I really hope you win that game. But
be a good game.
That's an offensive team, North Shore. Y'all, Devin, you got step to the plate.
Yeah,
you got step up.
They got some DBs over there and a D line. They got a.
I'm gonna say North Shore for now. I really want y'all to win, but that Westlake is a very offensive team.
All right, so North Shore in the championship again.
North Shore versus Duncanville like last year, state again. So hopefully North Shore y'all repeat yourselves and win state again.
Hopefully, gotta make it in. All right, wait, is that your answer? So North Shore,
North Shore
all the way.
So I got Katy for Division 1, and I got North Shore I got Katy for Division 2, North Shore for Division 1. 2 Houston teams winning out.
Taking it.
I want both y'all on this show the week afterwards. It's gonna be a great game.
We gonna celebrate.
Yes,
we're
gonna celebrate.
You gonna tee up for sure, man.
So I hope y'all do that so we can. So, cause we can't celebrate with Duncanville or Westlake because
they're not gonna want to drive.
They're not gonna drive out here,
and I wouldn't want them to.
Exactly. So North Shore, Katy, hopefully y'all win so y'all can sit down here. We can talk ball with y'all and just
celebrate. Man.
Yes, celebrate.
Yeah, with all that there, I wish we could have won. I wish we could have won. All right, but look, brother, looks like we're finished. How you feel?
I feel great. Sunday, Thanksgiving's coming up. Hope y'all eat some good turkey and some good ham.
What's your favorite? Like side dish, anything? What's the?
It's gonna sound basic, but mac and cheese and like sweet potatoes. Like
that's fine. Dressing with me. It's dressing.
I will throw down some. I will throw down some dressing.
Man. So happy Thanksgiving to all who listen. To the players the players who have already gone home. You know, good luck in the rest of your career. Good luck in life. We still support you. We still love you. For the players who are still in it. Good luck. Have a great game. This is gonna be a good third round. So I'm ready.
Third round, then semifinals, then it's gonna be great.
Yeah, brother. So everybody be blessed and don't forget to level up.